I've been burying for the past 2 years is just coming right back. The danger's very real for my children and I.
There's no way he's gonna leave us alone.
When you make a wrong, you have to pay the price for it. The first person he's probably going to go after is me. This has got to stop. He's got to stop. My sister Diane was murdered in 1977 by her husband, Kevin Adrian Murtaugh. My brothers have all traveled from various states of the country.
How goes it? What'd you do to your hair?
Hey, I'm going to New Orleans. Why not? To face the parole board to help keep Kevin Adrian Murtaugh in prison. You see where all those poles are right there? That's where they found her torso. Back through here. And you go back and it's back there. This was called the torso nurse murder. It was the most horrible crime of its nature in that time.
In 1977, Diane Cam was a newlywed, married only 9 months when her husband, Kevin Murtaugh, brutally killed her.
Kevin used the cord to strangle her, and then he got a jigsaw and started to carve off her hands, then cut her off here at the shoulders, and then up at the hips.
Murtaugh then put her remains in the back of their Volkswagen Beetle and disposed of the remains throughout parts of Campbell County.
We would like to begin this hearing. Please state your name and DOC number for the record.
Kevin Murtaugh, 078457.
All right, Mr. Murtaugh, we are seeing you today on the offense of murder. You are serving a life sentence. Your time remaining is yet to be determined. So let's talk about this murder of Miss Diane Cam.
We got into an argument, and it got real heated and emotional. And I just looked down, and there was a rope. I just took a bad situation and just kept making it worse and worse and worse. I just want to say how sorry I am for what I've done.
I do want to note, Mr. Murtaugh, that you have no disciplinary violations in the last 2 years. I want to acknowledge that. That's to your credit.
You're going to let him out.
You take a bad childhood, add feelings of inferiority, and stir, shake, and pour into a bowl containing 4 other malcontents, and you get the kids in the hall. We started performing at the Rivoli, this rock club, and we called ourselves the Kids in the Hall because we thought that was a better name in the audience, because we thought that was a little pretentious, but we didn't. What do we know?
And the shows were sort of, you know, not getting a great following. Sometimes we were playing to like 5, 10 people in the house.
February in Toronto on a Monday night is not a great time for doing comedy, but that's where we sort of like got our screw you attitude.
You know, sometimes it was really good and sometimes it was terrible. After a long time of going, should we even do this? Is this even working? Like, come on, one more time, guys.
You know, our shows were mostly at the beginning just friends and people, you know, fanatics, drunks, and people that had nowhere to go, like us. And we really were discovered in a very kind of a classic showbiz way.
I saw them first at the Rivoli on Queen Street in Toronto.
It was a very hard time. It was a very hard time that Loren kind of came and saw us and said, you know, we should do a, you know, show or whatever.
Their talent more than deserved to be shown off.
In our first year, we had tremendous freedom, much more freedom than we could have ever gotten, because we were under the umbrella of Lorne Michaels, which I think gave us a real huge, like a free pass.
I think my role was paternal. I think that the show, The Kids in the Hall, it had a look, a style, and a feel to it that was just that. It was just their show.
Hey, everybody. Don't panic. I mean, I'm only crushing your head.
He always had censorship battles, always. And they were always about sex or religion.
And now, the Dr. Seuss
Bible.
So we're basically telling the story of the Bible, because we're very religious, the five of us. But Dr. Seuss first. That was funny that I was in terrible pain. And so we thought it was very funny to see the nails go in and Jesus go, oh, fuck. You know, that's funny, I think.
When we did the Naked for Jesus sketch, I guess you call it, we just went out there and did it one day, and we're in Toronto, and we put up a little Naked for Jesus mural, and we painted it, and nobody complained, and it was there for about 3 years. It was hard to get it on the air, and we had to get it in such a truncated, you know, something covering our genitals version.
They always had enormous confidence, and they trusted their own instincts and material, and they were brilliant.
We did it for 5 years.
The rest would be history if it were more important.
Anyone can have a good idea, but the difference between those who have an idea and those who have a successful company is in the execution. These women figured out how they could transform a concept into a thriving company in New York City. And it all started with her big idea. Mulaney Barnett was recognized for her artistic talent at a very young age. While she was in college, she became interested in the idea that as an artist, she would be able to share her globally inspired artwork through surface textile design. So she founded Mulaney B, an exclusive custom textile design studio.
My name is Mulaney Barnett, and I'm the founder of Mulaney B. All of the carpets are custom. Custom size, custom color, custom even construction. Hi Orlando, welcome to Mulaney B.
Thanks, Mulaney, how are you?
Let's get started with our consultation.
All right.
Mulaney B is located in the Bedford-Stuyvesant section of Brooklyn, New York. All the work is produced as far as designing, specification, right here. I really love living in the city, but I also love suburban life too. Being in Brooklyn allows me to get the best of both worlds.
Let's see some of the options.
Now this is called Tap Tap. It's bamboo silk, which is the shiny area here. Feel that? It's quite
nice.
soft. This is called Papunya. This is actually inspired by the Aborigine hand dot art. I launched my own business, Mulaney B, in 2009. Everybody was doing like beige and plain, simple carpet. And I was designing carpets with people on it and creating stories. That was not a common thing to see in carpet, and it's still not. The way it built was really a lot of sweat from me networking like crazy and not being afraid to introduce to people who I am and what I do. I did whatever it was that I needed to bring in money, you know, to keep afloat. I've worked at Bloomingdale's. I actually was assisting a stylist on a project. I did tag sales. You know, I had to do what I had to do, and I did it. Entrepreneurship is not about being comfortable. It's a serious roller coaster ride, and you don't know when the next dip is coming. You don't know when the next hill you're gonna have to climb. But the key is just being ready.
This was something that was unthinkable. Unthinkable.
A man who was once the chief of police. Here he's in handcuffs, and he's sentenced to 17 years in prison.
And I yelled to my brother, "Don't worry, Phil, I'm gonna take care of this. I'll get you out."
Without Claire advocating for him, his chances of getting out are non-existent.
Families torn apart by murder come together to face their darkest secrets. Bad blood.
Phil Castagna is a hometown boy, made good.
He was the youngest chief of police in New Jersey, and he was really, really proud of that.
And he was the friendliest chief they've ever had there.
People saw him as a man of integrity and a man who could protect their small town the way that they wanted to be protected.
And they used to say, Beth, all I want is a couple of kids and a house in the suburbs and the white picket fence. This is all I want.
Phil and Joyce gravitated towards each other immediately.
He wanted to show her off. She was beautiful. She really was a very, very good-looking woman.
Her flaws, I think, were easy for him to overlook. I think that you can have good judgment professionally and poor judgment personally.
I think that's how he got involved with some of the wrong people.